Hi, my name is Terry Moore. I am 48 years old and I live in Denver, Colorado. I am an artist slash paper crafter. I have my own business that I run with my daughter. We make outfits, personalized party hats, and other party decor, mostly for 1-year-olds. Um, what illness do I suffer from? Well, that's a good question. I am not exactly sure what it is that I'm suffering from. In the past, I have been diagnosed with inflammatory arthritis, atypical vestibular migraines, fibromyalgia, burning mouth syndrome, vulvar vestibulitis, which are all just kind of blanket diagnoses. I truly believe that there is something else going on and that it would answer what is really going on, that it's something that needs to be looked at as the big picture. Describe the first time I experienced symptoms. Well, I would say that was in 1997. I was doing nails at the time, and it felt like the room was going to spin, but it didn't really spin. And the next thing I knew, my right hand started shaking. And after that, it kind of all went downhill from there. What was going on in my life at the time of my illness presented itself? Well, I was actually, in the process of trying to get pregnant with my daughter. I was doing nails. Nothing really out of the ordinary. I mean, I was happy and doing what I like to do, happily married. So nothing really out of the ordinary. How long have I suffered from my illness and how has it impacted my life? Well, like I said, basically, it started in 97. But actually, before that, I think it was around 92, 93, I also had some problems with my knees. They swelled for no reason and was diagnosed with an inflammatory type arthritis back then, but was able to do physical therapy at the time and it resolved itself and didn't have a problem again until that day when I was doing nails in 97. Let's see, what type of well, let's see. So that would be how long have I suffered? What triggers my symptoms? Well, I don't know of anything in particular that actually triggers them. Stress of course doesn't help, but unfortunately we don't have control of a lot of things in life, so you can't always control your stressors. As far as like migraines and things like that, bright lights or smells, hormones, things like that can trigger those kind of things. Other than that, I can't really pinpoint it. Let's see, what type of treatments have I received? Well, mostly, so far it's been prescription type medications. I'm very sensitive to prescription medications or medications in general. So there's only certain things I can take and in very small doses. For me, the side effects are actually worse than the problem. So that limits me as well. And plus the fact I don't like being medicated. That's something that I don't want to have to do unless there's no other alternative. How do I manage it? Well, I just said that. How has my treatment impacted me financially? Well, the problem there is, health insurance here sucks. It's, very expensive. Even though, we have insurance, it's still expensive. My husband and I are both self-employed, and the premium is very high, and then the deductible is even higher as well. So, I can go to the doctor and make the small copay to get in, but after that, it all goes downhill from there because any tests that, they want me to have done, all has to go into consideration as to if I can afford it or not. Have I tried any alternative treatments? Yes, I have tried many different alternative treatments in the past. Physical therapy, chiropractic, acupuncture, myofascial massages, all kinds of different kinds of massages, biofeedback, but unfortunately, once again, because health insurance won't pay for any of that stuff and it's all out of pocket, I'm very limited as to what I can do alternatively that I can afford. Tell us about your support system. I live with my husband and my daughter, and our 2 dogs. My family is also here in Denver, born and raised here, never lived anywhere else. So they are all, very supportive, in their own way. My mother and my sister and my grandmother, they all have suffered with autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and ulcerative colitis, so there's a lot of that kind of thing in our family. Are there any relationships in our life that are strained due to our illness? And is there anyone in my life that doubts the existence of my illness? I wouldn't say anybody doubts it. I think that, anytime somebody has an illness, it can be a strain. It's hard because, I'm a very pretty independent person, and I like to do things for myself, but sometimes, when you aren't feeling well and you don't know what you have, and, it's changed the way you live your life, you have to ask for help. So that's hard. It also can make you feel guilty because there are things that are, hard for you to do now that you can't do, and even if you try, want to try to do them, you don't want to disappoint somebody else if, you're not able to do it. So those are just some of the little things. How has this illness affected me emotionally? Well, since I've been dealing with this for so long and haven't been able to actually find a doctor or practitioner to actually help me and figure it out, it has definitely affected me emotionally. The problem is that most doctors that I see, they have, after I tell them what's going on and they see all the tests that have been run and come back normal, then they have no idea what else to do with me. And, I admit this is a complicated case, but they don't want to deal with it. And the other problem is when they see the test come back normal, then they don't want to believe it either. And then some of them, immediately go to it's in your head. So, it can be hard, definitely be hard emotionally. And at this point, since it's been going on for so long, and I've seen so many doctors and professionals and not gotten any answers, I'm really, really getting discouraged. And so my hope is to put my story out there by telling my story to hopefully, help others that are going through this, because I know I'm not the only one. I know there are a lot of people out there that are undiagnosed. And in the meantime, by helping other people, maybe someone out there knows of a way to help me too. I still try to be positive every day and, try to focus on the good things in life. I know there's people out there that have it way worse than I do. And, I'm grateful for what I have. But at the same time, I just really need some answers and some help. So I'm hoping that you guys will consider my story and help me to tell it and help others as well. Thanks for listening.